In this video, you'll be learning how to make an Awolowo cap just like this. We'll be needing your tape or your ruler, your cardboard, foam, your chalk or pencil, your gum, that'll be the A4 stick gum, the fabric, thread, your needle, and your scissors. Okay, let's sew. First of all, you'll be taking a measurement of the edge circumference, which I'm going to be using. I'll be using 22 and a half for the edge circumference. That will be the round edge. You can also call it the round edge or your edge circumference. Okay, you can use bigger measurements or smaller measurements regarding the edge measurements, depending on what you measure on your client's head or wherever you wish to make it from. Take your ruler. It's time to use our tape. Okay, secondly, we'll be taking our tape. We'll be using the length of the cap for 2.5 inch. 2.5 inches, I'll call it a standard size to use. So I'll be taking the 2.5 inch from the edge, from the other side of the cardboard, straight to our 22.5. So just I'll be taking a measurement to our 22.5. Okay, I'll be marking our 22.5, making sure it's straight, using opposite to me, connecting the lines. So I'll be okay. I think it's time we'll get our ruler to help us finish it up. So I have my ruler here, or you can use any straight surface or anything that can give a straight line. Okay, I'll be connecting the lines to each other. I could have decided to use my hand to connect the line, but when we are dealing with measurement like this, we want to be so precise and accurate with it. So we're connecting our lines. Now we have our lines set exactly our 22.5. See your tape to make sure you are sure it's a 22.5. Okay, so also there's something we'll be doing here. I'll be adding quarter. You can also call it 0.2. That will be the half into two places. That will be quarter. 2 quarter make half. Okay, 0.2. I'll be adding it to give the cap this to give it to keep this cardboard, to make the cardboard firm on the fabric you will be using. So after that 0.2, I'll be adding half inch. Okay, that will be half an inch, 0.5. Okay, the reason for this half an inch is to have extra space to gum it together, and I'll be connecting the lines together. So I'll be cutting it according to where I notched my scissors. I'll be cutting it. Okay, now it's fully cut. Okay, pay attention to this. This first space I left is 0.2. So this first place is 1.5. That will be the bigger place, while the other place is 0.2, which have different function. Okay, pay attention to every detail because it matters. Okay, I'll be going to the other side of the cardboard, and also marking our half inch. I told you that the half inch will be used to apply the gum on. It will be the surface whereby the gum stays on. So that surface will be closing each other. You get to see what I'm trying to explain as you follow the video. Okay, now this is a typical example of what I'm showing you. I'll be applying my gum soon, but pay attention to this. It's on opposite sides on different surface for the half inch. So this is my fabric. This is an Awolowo fabric I'm going to be using. And since our edge circumference, which is our round edge, is 22.5, I'll practically use my tape to measure from the extreme end to where I have my 22.5. Pay attention to this. Okay, let me shift my camera for you. Okay, 22.5. Okay, I'm going to be using my chalk. You can use a pencil, a biro, anything that can give you this mark and will not stain your fabric. I'll be adding 1 inch to the 22.5. Okay, making it 24.5 altogether. So that's the first 1 inch. That's the second 1 inch I'll add, and this 1 inch will be for allowance. Okay, now I can cut the fabric after the 1 inch. You can decide to add 1.5 inch, or 1.5 inch should be the max, and the activate the marks, the minimum should be 1 inch. That's 2 inches together, 1.5. So now I'm folding my fabric. Remember I added 2 inch, so the it's going to be for the seam allowance. The 1 inch is going to be for the seam allowance to join. I won't be needing the full length of the ashoke. I will just be needing 4.5. I'll just be needing 4.5. So I'm taking my 4.5 now. I'm cutting it just 4.5. I'll be cutting it, and also keep your attention to this now. Okay, I'll be stitching that seam allowance. Let me just give you a mark so you see what I'm trying to talk about. I'll be stitching the seam allowance by 1 inch. Yeah, that 1 inch. I'll take it to my machine and stitch it. Now I've stitched it already. Pay attention to the lines. I use the black thread. Obviously it's not going to be showing. I use the black thread. That's the closest thread I could have gotten. If you'll be dealing with plain fabric, please use the exact fabric. And okay, so I'm going to be connecting using my gum now, the full stick gum I spoke about at the beginning, and my brush also. Do not mind my brush, mine is kind of old. Getting a new one will be more easier to use, and you can also wash your brush when you are done. I'll be applying my gum now. Gently apply your gum. Try to manage your gum. Try not to apply too many gums on the surface. Try to be neat. If your cap is not neat, it won't be so giving. So I'll be applying my gum on this first part first of all, then also the second part. Remember, they are directly opposite to each other on different face of the cardboard. 1.5. That particular 1.5 I said will be using this for the allowance to close the cap, to give it that round shape. So I'm applying to the other side. I'll do same for the other parts. I'll be doing same for the other parts now. Pay attention. Yes, I'll do same for the other parts. Do the same thing I did there. I'll be applying the gum to that 1/2 inches. Okay, so at this point I'll be leaving the gum to dry on them, but just take a look at this. Is going to be the outcome. This is okay. If you've been following this video, you would have gotten to this particular point. If this is what your own look like, you are the right part. Why if yours is not like this, please back forward and try to catch up with us. I left the gum for a few minutes to dry. I think now it has dried. I'll be putting it inside the ashoke fabric. I want you to take note of this line and the fixing of everything. Carefully put it inside, just like what I'm doing. This particular line should either be at the side of the cap or at the back. It will make no sense if the line is showing at the front. Okay, as it stands, I was able to position mine to the side of the cap. Okay, just watch closely and be so careful of this cardboard. This could be a little bit difficult in fixing. If your cardboard gets any other shapes, it can actually entirely spoil the whole process. So please try not to bend your cardboard to lose the shape. Okay, now I'll be fixing the 1/2 inch and the 1/2 inch together where the gum part is. Okay, where the gum part is. So just make sure it's aligned, make sure it's straight. Let's take a closer look at this. So that's what you should get right now. Okay, yes, we are the right track. And now we just try to put them in place. Now it's that time we'll be applying gum to the surface of the cardboard to just completely gum the ashoke fabric to it. Okay, now we're applying gum to each end. Just it. Then we'll gum the ashoke fabric on the cardboard. Follow this step. Okay, this is a very interesting part of this making. We'll be creating this ovoid shape, knowing fully well that the head is not round per se, do not have this round shape. We just try to position it. You can see I'm taking my time to position it, because the way you position it is the way you want your Awolowo cap to look like. I also advise to try it on your head or any similar head to just give it this shape, because it will just need to stay on your head for some while. If you have a manicure or something to just give the cardboard this shape for some while, so it will retain the shape. Now I'll be applying the cover for the cap. Again, we'll be needing to use some stitches and from the machine. So you position the cap well. You position it well. We'll be joining the two fabric from straight. We'll just be running stitch. Okay, now just take a look closely. I used my black thread again to run that stitch. I'm opening it like this. Now this is what we have. Since I'm working with these two colors of Awolowo Cap, you just position it well to be having these colors to give it this color. Okay, I'll position the cardboard, the part on the all parts of the Awolowo Cap just like that. I'll be getting a 1 inch difference, 1 inch difference from the initial round of the cardboard to give it allowance space. Okay, just come close. It's 1 inch. Make sure it's accurate. And okay, I'll be trimming it, cutting it to that shape. Okay, now it's time for us to get our foam, our 1/2 inch foam. I decided to use a more complex system here. I want my Awolowo Cap to have this up shape that just look like a kind of should I call it a house shape here at the top of my Awolowo Cap. So I'll divide my foam into two and make sure I join it from the middle. But if this is your first time, do not divide your foam, just comb it just like that if this is your first time. And I would recommend you must have seen other making where they use macro, they use net. I recommend this for beginners because using macro and net is a very, very difficult way of getting the job done for an Awolowo Cap, especially if this is your first time or you're a beginner. And this is the easiest way so far out of so many trials. This is the easiest way you can get this thing done without so many complications. So back to our Awolowo Cap. So right now I will be applying my gum. I want to gum the pillow and the up part of that Awolowo Cap fabric together. That's going to be the up part. The foam is to give it weight. The 1/2 inch foam is to give it weight. Okay, I'll apply my gum. Please, you want to be so careful, especially if your fabric is a very transparent fabric or a very light fabric. You want to be so careful with the gum so you do not see stains in the other side of the fabric. And our advised fabric for our Awolowo Cap should either be a culture fabric, should be a very thick fabric. Do not use thick liner or cashmere for Awolowo, or even a silk material. It should either be a thick fabric, joggers fabric or cargo pants fabric, something thick to just give because of the gum, and so your work will not look rough. So right now I'll be applying my foam to the Awolowo Cap fabric. Remember I told you that if you're doing this, trying this out for the first time, do not split your foam. You'll see the effect of the splitting when I'm done with this video. But please, if this is your first time, you can decide to try it this way, or I'll just say you stick, you keep it simple. You can have other trials. In other attempts, okay, what I did here, I flipped the up part of the Awolowo Cap. I'm going to be putting gum in between these holes of where I joined it, so it do not have a slit or it do not disconnect while I'm fixing the cap. Okay, right here, this is what we have from the other part. I'll carefully cut it. Yeah, we are done cutting now. Remember we made mention of our thread and needle at the beginning of this class. It's high time we put it to work now. You just give me pass a thread into the needle to make it fall because of the weight of the cap. Then we will be taking it around, giving it a loose stitch, just like what you're seeing on the screen. Here's my loose stitch. It's completed. Okay, this is how far I've gone to the loose stitch. So what's going to happen is you do a loose stitch round the cap. Yeah, I'll be finishing up the loose stitch. And while you pull it, the aim is to give it this kind of curve shape. And if you should successfully run your thread around the cap, you should be having a means of pulling it, giving it this curve shape. Okay, as you can see, I'm wrapping up with the stitch and still pulling it, so just pay close attention to this. You're almost done. Okay, you can see this shape, and you can see that the effect of dividing the foam into two. You can see that swirling part at the middle plus this round shape. So I would advise that you leave it for few seconds or few minutes for it to just take this shape, for it to just adapt this new shape it has. Okay, what I did was to flip this pose. Look how it looks like from the back and from the front. I'm carefully making sure that the loose stitch goes round, no part is gathered than the other, so to just give it this balance in the fitting and everything. So this is what we have so far. We are almost done. Just pay a close attention to it. Do not rush this process. I took my time making sure that everything was okay. Took my time to give it this shape. I had difficulties in giving it this round shape, and this is what it looks like from the up. You see the effect of the splitting. We'll give it a test run, putting it to see how it's going to look like without the gum. I think we're good to go, and we can apply the gum now to the surface. So very easy if all scene is applied. Okay, now this is the up part. I had to choose my up part rightly. I decided to use this part that had a darker shade. It's fashionable also because of the gum. Also, this part had a darker shade to just avoid any kind of stain. So I brush, yours will be easy. My brush gave me difficulties here in putting it together, but it's fine. I finally went round, and this is what it looks like. Again, we'll give it few minutes to dry so it can be more sticky than it is now. So this is what you should be having right now. Okay, it's time to take our up part. So watch closely. The part that had the gum is at the down. We're pushing it down just like the test run we did at the first instance. Okay, now we make sure we put it like this and we turn it up. So this is where the work is. We'll make sure now the gum is dried and is more sticky than it is now. We'll go around exactly like this, carefully adjusting it, bringing it up a little, then carefully making sure that the gum works on it. So we do that round. In putting this place together, it will definitely take your time. You need to be so decisive in what you're doing. Avoid rush. It's not something you rush about it if you want to give the best outcome. You can make use of your scissors to do something like this if you feel like you need to, or any surface that can go through. You can see we're having a very intentional shape about this now. You can see what the slit of the card of the foam made the up to have this kind of upper shape. So now we flip it, and this is the part where we make use of our lining. I'll tell people to avoid any light color lining. Your lining should either be a dull, okay, you can use a dull face or shiny face. I just need your lining to be so thick that the gum do not reflect. This is the beauty of the cap. The finishing of the cap is also the beauty. How your client can look at the inside and see a very neat finishing. So I used the vintage fabric that was thick enough to withhold the gum without bringing the surface. You can see what I did there. I measured it, then I'm cutting it out right now. It's important to do a test run on it. Don't be too quick. You see if the size you cut perfectly fit in. It fits. I'll be applying my gum now to inside of the surface, applying enough gum. What's left for us now is to put the lining inside. Carefully put it inside to match what we are trying to cover, making sure it covers it. Time to use our elastic now. The elastic will be like a tape, a form of a tape. So what's happening here is that I'm putting the gum close to the surface. My lining didn't get entirely to the surface as you've seen here, so I'll be taking my gum round the surface of the cap. What I did was to pick a start point where I used the elastic to take it around. The essence of the elastic is just to give this neat finishing. It does not do anything like to make it smaller, or it's just to give this neat finishing. I'm doing the finishing of the taping, putting the gum at the edge. This last part is very crucial. You make sure you want to make a neat finishing at the edge of the tape. Here we go. I finally closed it, applying the gum, making sure that it's straight and firm. Okay, here we go. We have our Awolowo Cap is set. I'll be anticipating you to try yours. The comment sections is open for your questions, and let me know what you feel about this making.